away, the phone started ringing, asking me if I'm happy with it. The jury's still out with me. I can't make my mind up about this manager. It's just, 1 minute I think he's great, the next minute I think he's shit. I can't. I'm so undecided about this. It's like some sort of disorder I've got. I'm normally quite, I'm not quite good at making decisions and sticking by them. But I must be the biggest flip-flop Arsenal fan on the platform, on YouTube at the moment, because since Arteta's been manager, first of all, I didn't want him. I wanted him gone after his first season, after his second season. Then when he started doing good and finishing runners-up twice, thinking, yeah, but then he's making decisions and costing us the title against Villa last year, with the old dropping Jesus into midfield, dropping Havertz into midfield to make room for Jesus against Villa at the Emirates last season. We lost the game 2-0, ultimately cost us the league. I've said that on numerous occasions, making novice mistakes. But the players seem to love him. The fan base is undecided. The fan base is totally split. Half of them, I'd say it's a 50-50 split with the fan base with this manager. I can't. Do you know what's difficult for me? What is difficult for me is to say, yeah, I'm happy you signed a new deal, and then he don't win nothing for the next 3 years, or say, no, I don't want him to sign a new deal. Then he goes somewhere else and wins trophies. So he's done all his own work, or done all his leg work, done all his practicing with Arsenal. Because don't forget, this is his first managerial job, head coach managerial job. And it's with us, with Arsenal. And apparently, although he hasn't won much, he's won one FA Cup, apparently he's an elite manager. I mean, make that make sense. He might be a great coach, he might be good at coaching football, but manager, I ain't so sure. He hasn't got great man management skills either. He's not the type of manager like an Harry Redknapp would put his arm around a player and try and G him up and try and say, look, keep your chin up, don't be too disappointed, blah, blah, this, blah, whatever they say. Because Martinelli needs something like that. I mean, his confidence is at an all-time low, and you can see that in his game. His confidence is so low at the moment, it is unbelievable. So, I mean, man manager skills, no, he ain't a great man manager. He doesn't like someone with a bit of something, a bit of oomph in them in that dressing room. Anyone that's got something to say, anyone that's got a bit of something about them, he doesn't like it. He likes to be the main man, the one in charge. This is why he's probably had Odegaard as captain, because Martin Odegaard ain't the sort of person, from what I know, from what I've seen, to be like giving it back, giving the mouth, and trying to impose his own opinions and his own philosophies or whatever on the players. But Arteta's way or the highway, this is what it is. And he's captain Odegaard, he's just a captain in name only. Because say if he'd have had we was all rooting for Kieran Tierney to be a captain not so long ago, and Kieran Tierney's got something about him. So Arteta doesn't like that, and Arteta's just farmed him out on loan. He ain't done nothing wrong in my opinion. He's a great left back, good player, and Arteta, as soon as someone, it's like if you backchat your old man, you get a slap around the face. Look what happened to Guendouzi. We are doomed, Anthony Herbert. Are we doomed? Do you think we're doomed? Listen, this contract, I thought this was already signed, Anthony. But I've just heard today that he signed the contract today. John Collins, hello John, nice to see you again. Arteta signed a new contract. I know. Are you happy about it? Someone asked me, so I thought I'd do a quick little live about it. I'm on the fence. I'm not sure. A lot of fans are against it. A lot of fans are for it. I just can't make my mind up. I'm so indecisive about it. I mean, I think he should be doing better. But then again, I don't want him to just learn his trade with us, then go somewhere else and start, cracking it and winning trophies and doing well at another club after wasting the time. At the end of this contract, it would be 7 or 8 years that he's practiced. He's done all his apprenticeship at Arsenal, and then he goes on and wins trophies everywhere else. I'm not sure. Never have To be honest, yeah, I'm not sure either, John. It was signed days ago. Yeah, this is what I thought, Anthony. I thought it was signed days ago, but what a time to announce it. It's his way or the highway. Absolutely, John. This is what happened to Aubameyang, to Lacazette, to loads of players that have had to leave. When they've announced it before the North London derby, although we have got we've got 3 away games. We've got Tottenham away, Atlanta away, and then Man City away. They've announced it before them 3 tough away games with a depleted, injured squad. Can you imagine them announcing a new 3-year deal for Mikel Arteta after the North London derby, after getting probably, having a bad game, getting beat maybe, losing to Atlanta and losing to City away, losing them 3 away games? Can you imagine? Can you imagine them announcing Arteta's new 3-year deal after that? I think they thought to themselves, we're going to have to tell them. We're going to have to tell the fans that he signed a new deal, and we're going to have to tell them now because we've got 3 really hard games. And if we don't do well in any of them games, then the fans are going to be on our back. Gary Warren, that's a proper accent. What do you mean a proper accent? Well, a London accent. Are you an Arsenal fan, Gary Warren? What do you think of this new deal for Arteta? I mean, apparently it was signed days ago, so we sort of knew that. Some people because you do a bit of content, a bit of football content, you study a lot more and you hear things through the grapevine. And so we've Anthony, who's in the chat at the moment, we did hear before that Arteta's already signed this deal a few days ago, and they've announced it. Just, right on the eve of these 3 tough games, man. Yeah, it's old school London. Yeah, proper old school, mate. East End. Born in the East End. Lived in the East End all my life, me old mate. Anthony Herbert. McManus is fuming. He's dancing on the rooftop singing sometimes to calm down. If you know, you know. This is Anthony Herbert in the chat and McManus guests on my channel when we do live streams, and this is something between them about Erasure and Jimmy Somerville and the songs they sing and all that, because they say that each other looks like one or the other one. Sky reported it before Arsenal. Yeah, I mean, but John, this deal was apparently signed a few days ago, and I can't find anywhere for the life of me what the terms are. Anthony, a friend of mine, Arsenal fan, friend of the channel, has said that he has heard that he is on par with Pep Guardiola's. On par with Pep Guardiola's contract, 12 million a year or something like that. Can you believe that? He's won 1 FA Cup in 5 years. He's got a 3-year extension, apparently on 12 million a year. Spent how much money has he spent? Like 800 million or something like that on players. Half of them ain't no good. Half of them, he signed some decent players, but half of them, excuse me. Oh, sorry about that. Half of them ain't no good. The Congas and the Tavares, and there's a few others. There's a few others in there. I can't remember them all off the top of my head, but there's a load in there. 850 million Arteta spent. How much of that has been on Pony, though? How much of that has been on absolute dross? or things that ain't worked out. Another thing I'm annoyed about is these injuries that we've got, these friendlies or these Nations League games have stripped our squad down to the bare bones. And now we got rid of on deadline day Reece Nelson, Fabio Vieira, Aaron Ramsdale, and Eddie Nketiah. They all went on deadline day, so it's too late to get any kind of replacement for them. The sale of Emil Smith-Rowe really got my back up. Really, really got my back up. I could not believe that this was supposed to be a youth project, Project Youth, and then he's selling our best youth players. I just, mate, for me, I'm leaning more to 70-30 that I'm disappointed with him getting a new deal. He's got 12 months left on his deal, and I don't think he's done enough. I don't think he's done enough to warrant another 3-year contract. In fairness, not for that kind of money anyway. If it's true that he's on like the 12 million a year, I like ESR, John. Yeah, what a player, man. Unlucky with injury, but there's another one that a lot of the season last year he wasn't injured. He wasn't. I think they used that as an excuse a few times, but he wasn't. Look at when he come on. Look when he played against Luton. He was man of the match. I know it's only Luton, but still, he still had that. He didn't have a lot of game time, didn't have a lot of practice, and he's still come good in that game. So he's got the fire in his belly. He scored on his debut for Fulham. I think he's got something about him, and I think he's going to shine at Fulham, and I hope he does. I really do. I just hope he don't score against us, obviously, but I think he's going to shine at Fulham. I think he's going to be the standout player there. Paulini has gone. I think he's going to be the standout player at Fulham, and yeah, I wish him all the best. Lee, can you be on the fence? Lee, you can't be on the fence. I took the fence down. Yeah, I'm finding it very difficult, Anthony, to make my mind up. I know it should be an easy decision, really. But I've got this fear. I've got this niggling fear in the back of my head that it's going to click. It's going to come good. And I'm not fear, but hope, I suppose. But I don't want it to come good. I don't want him to leave the club, go to a Barcelona, maybe even a Man City after Pep, or any other club really. Could even go Everton, couldn't he? But I don't want to see him leave the club and then just smash it, because then we'd be thinking, why didn't we keep him? Why the fuck didn't we keep him? Like we're saying about Emil Smith-Rowe now. Goat Footy Edits, hi, how you doing? United are the best. United the best, you reckon? PWR Frozen, I can't read that, mate. Hajar BVB. That's German football team, isn't it? I think it is. John Collins, we always get too many injuries and sick notes. We do. Look at the players we've had. Thomas Rosicky, Jack Wilshere, Santi Cazorla. This is just three off the top of my head. World-class players potentially, but injuries. Injuries fucking them. Aaron Ramsey even. Aaron Ramsey's career at Arsenal was Robin Van Persie. Robin Van Persie's career at Arsenal, right, was absolute pony, really, until that last season when he was amazing. And then he went to United, Goat Footy Edits. He went to your club, and then they won the Premier League. It's just like, it's like Arsenal are cursed, mate. It is like they're cursed. But what do you think about Arteta's new deal? John Collins in the chat. Anthony, I know what you think about it. Whoever's in the chat at the moment, let me know what you think. Stick a like on the video, don't forget. There's only one like on there. And there's 7 or 8 of you watching at the minute. Stick a like if you like the content. If you don't, you don't have to. I'd appreciate it if you did, though. But what do you think about this new contract for Mikel Arteta? Does he deserve it for one? And are you happy about it for two? Runners up twice. It's not bad. The progression has been. I'm a United fan, but I like. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate that, or miss. Possibly, I don't know. I can't tell. But thank you very much anyway. What was I saying? I've lost my train of thought. God, I've lost my train of thought. What was I saying? Oh, fuck me. I forgot what I was saying there. And subscribe. Oh, thank you very much. Listen, there's a live stream later on, a Q&A. There'll be a Q&A later on with Anthony and McManus. So that's on at 7:30, 8 o'clock maybe. I think it's 7:30. Come and join in the chat. Ask the questions on there. There's a panel. It's a proper podcast. This is just a little short live. I just wanted to get some opinions out of people. See what they thought about this Arteta thing. You talked about Arteta new contract. Yes, Arteta signed a new contract today. Well, Arsenal would have announced that he signed a new contract, a 3-year extension, so it's running to 2027. Can't see any confirmation of the terms, the wages, that sort of thing. But apparently it's about 12 million a year. So this is the information that I've got. And I just want to know what other Arsenal fans out there, or even football fans in general, feel about it. Trouble is, who is better manager that's available at the moment? You know, listen, we're stuck with Arteta regardless. If he's on 12 million a year, I don't think they're going to sack him at the end of the season if he's got another 3 years and give him like 12, 24, 36 million just to pay his contracts up. So we're stuck with him till 2027. Regardless of what happens, I don't, you know, they've announced his contract. I suppose he could still be sacked if it falls off the cliff, goes belly up properly. But I doubt it very, very much. They're happy. The Cronkies are happy. They're not. I don't think they're under too much enough pressure from the fans or the manager. You know, I think he's content just to play along, do his thing. Football has improved, I've got to say. The football has improved. The points tally has improved. Record number of goals, record number of points. You know, record number of goals conceded. You know, there is some positives in it, but ultimately it's about trophies. As Anthony says, it's about trophies. That's the ultimate goal. I mean, you know, look at Ten Hag. He was on the verge of getting sacked last season, and he won the FA Cup, beating Man City in a repeat of the year before's final as well. But he won the League Cup the year before, FA Cup last season, kept his job, you know, because of the trophies. Finishing 8th in the league, though. You know, Arteta finished 8th twice. Then in the third season, finished 5th, just losing out to Spurs, and then 2 seconds. So, you know, there is progress. High accumulated points every season and all. Man City need their 115 charges to be dealt with. Yes, they do, but I don't want to win the title because of that, because we'll never live it down. Let's get the season out of the way. Let's see if we can win the league. I don't think we will, but let's see if we can win the league fair and square this season. And then Man City maybe face their punishment at the end of the season for the following season, to the 25-26 season. Oh, excuse me. Ten Hag 2 trophies in 3 seasons so far. Yeah, I know, but trophies are very important. FA Cup's my favourite cup trophy. I'd rather win the FA Cup than the Champions League. But ultimately, I want the Premier League. Ultimately, this is what I want. I want to win the Premier League, be the best team in England over the course of the season. I want to be the best team in England, and that's all I've always wanted. I love it. I love the FA Cup. It's the oldest cup in the world, the oldest cup competition in the world. Arsenal have won it more times than anybody else as well. And, you know, it is a very important cup to me, but still the league is very important. Let me know in the comments. If you watch this on a replay, let me know in the comments what you think about Arteta's new deal. And for those of you that are tuning into the podcast later on tonight, Thursday night Q&A on a Thursday, and there's a podcast on a Tuesday, the Loose Cannon podcast as well, 7:30. Don't forget, tune in, subscribe to the channel, stick a like on it, and I'll see you tonight if you're there. And Anthony Herbert's last comment, the league is a must. It certainly is, bro. And listen, I'll see you later. I'll see you tonight, Anthony.